Hi, welcome back. Today's chapter number 3 and it's like attracts like. So what you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create, and that's said by Buddha. What you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. So let's go on the chapter. To start with here, the story of my dear friend and participant Shweta Kajale, who attracted her dream car by understanding and practicing the law of attraction. I had been earning to buy a particular car for more than 6 months, but I thought I could never afford it. After attending the Law of Attraction workshop, I realized that the miracles do happen. I had to consciously manifest what I wanted, so I started visualizing and using the affirmation technique to attract my dream car. I even used to visit car showrooms for test drives, took pictures of me sitting in the car, and slowly my fears and doubts regarding not affording that car started dissolving. Within 6 months after that, I had saved enough money to afford the car and I always wanted. Not only that, soon after that, I even bought a second car and paid off both the car loans in a just year. In fact, I was the youngest employee in my organization to achieve so much success so fast, so my boss was so proud of me. He kept me telling my story to everyone else. I believe I attracted the business opportunities and the money to achieve all my goals because I used the law of attraction to vibrate at the right frequency by taking the control of my feeling, thoughts, belief, and action. Now I practice techniques like visualization, affirmation, and the gratitude on daily basis and get phenomenal results much faster than most people do in their life. Even when I go shopping, if I can't find what I want, I close my eyes and manifest that I have found the perfect outfit I wanted. Sometimes I find exactly what I wanted and sometimes I find the things which exceeds my expectation. Thank you Mitesh for introducing me to this wonderful law, the law of attraction. Shweta Kazale, interior designer. I hope you are all encouraged by Swata's story and already create one of your own such miracle stories. Now that you need to understand the science behind the law of attraction and its connection with the Bhagavad Gita, it's time for you to learn the most important law which control the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Like attracts like means energy within the same frequency will attract each other. Scientists discovered that even though there is a single energy in the universe, energy always vibrates at different frequencies. When these frequencies match, they attract each other. Scientists made magical inventions based on this law of attraction. And here are the three important inventions of our age which would have not been possible without the discovery of like attracts like. Telephone. If you dial the frequency of your friend's number, it will connect to the same frequency. Television. When you switch to the particular channel, the TV will attract the same channel frequency. Radio. If you tuned into the radio frequency of 94.3 FM, then it will attract the 94.3 megahertz frequency perfectly, nothing else. Since we are all made of energy, whatever frequency we vibrate at, we will attract the same frequency. Two types of frequency. There are two types of frequency around us all the time, positive and negative frequency. What you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. One more time. What you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. That's said by Buddha. If you are vibrating a positive frequency, you will attract more positive energy. But if you vibrate at the negative frequency, you will also attract the negative energy to yourself. Frequency is plus, frequency is minus. We use the law of attraction unconsciously as we always vibrate at certain frequency, positive or negative, and constantly attract the same energy to ourselves in the form of people, situation. Here are the multiple examples of people and situation with the same frequency attracting each other. Number one, in school you have observed how the naughty children sit together while the studious team up because the people with a like energy will always attract each other. People who speak the same language will always try and stay together in keeping with the community feeling. Our community is nothing but a group of like minded peoples attracting each other. Sometimes we think of friend and he call us. It is called as both were probably thinking of each other and at the same time thus attracted each other at the same frequency. When we fear something, we desperately wish that it doesn't happen to us. It happens, and this is because the more we scared, the more we attract. The more we scared, the more we attract that frequency towards us. You must observe that many business have their own market areas. For example, there are electronic market, wholesale market, vegetable market, hardware market, computer, clothes, jewelry, and many more. These markets are not always consciously planned, but because they have the same frequency, similar shops keep attracting each other and it slowly become the market. If you work from office, you will see the employee who complain and crimp attract more people like themselves, while efficient people attract other than efficient workers. Failure attracts failure and success attracts success. The rich getting richer and the poor getting poor. Angry people attract more angry situations, happy people attract more opportunities and to be happy. Sad people attract more sad people to talk and more situations that make them feel sad. I see the people who have happy and healthy relationship attract more such friends, whereas people who have constantly have bad relationship and they are surrounded by similar friends. This book is also matter which is the made of energy. After you read this book, you will attract more books on this topic of the law of attraction, or you might have attracted this book because you have been thinking of talking about the topic, or might have bought a book that have the similar energy frequency. Honest people will attract more honest people and the situation where honesty works. Liars will attract more people who are liars and situations they find it necessary to lie. I can go on and on to give you the example as there are unlimited proof around you to demonstrate that like attracts like. All like papers, all like work as per the simple law of attraction. Like attracts like. Now, given a choice, what would you like to attract? Positive people or the situation, or negative people and situation? You think of this because this is a silly question. After all, everybody want to attract the positive people and the situation. While this is true, the problem is that most people don't know how to control their own energy frequency. Many times people vibrate at negative frequency and attract negative people and situation. Then they tag the situation as bad luck. But the fact is that our attraction depends on our own frequency. What you could learn how to control the frequency, you could able to attract more positive energy, lots of good luck, lots of positive people and situation, and avoid the negative energy, and thus also avoid what is called the bad luck. Here is the story of CEO who attracted a business excellence about using the law of attraction. I have not revealed his name for the confidential reason. This CEO is a very famous personality who had been working with multinational organization for about 2 years and 6 months. He was nominated for the Business Excellence Award. Even though he was nominated, his chance of getting the award were slim because the award required him to be a CEO for at least 3 years. He was a worthy candidate and had worked hard for the award and luck to had to support him. This is where I used the visualization and recording technique with him to help him attract his award. You will learn about this technique in the chapter number 7. Using the law of attraction, he succeeded in winning the award by tuning himself to the exact frequency of his goal. In this next chapter, you shall learn how to control your frequency so you can control what you attract in your life. But before that, do the following exercise which will prepare for you. Exercise, let's go to the exercise. Where in your life do you see the proof of love attraction working negatively and positively both? So while writing the answer, check that what you are attracting in different areas of life: friends, big income levels, reputation problem, relationship, achievement, failure, success, health, any situations. Write down the answers with this question that above on to the next topic. When you do this exercise, and you will realize that whatever you attract in your life is the result of your own frequency. It is your own frequency which attracts negative or the positive people and situation in your life. At this point, I usually ask the important question in my law of attraction workshop. Now that you have learned like attracts like, what is your biggest learning? Please take a time to write down the biggest learning before you continue to read. So my biggest learning, what I understand, yes, like attracts like. Though it's a positive people or situation, or it's a negative people or situation, you will attract what you think, what you thought, what you're feeling, what you believe, and all this combined together, it will attract you towards the positive or negative sides. So let me share my own answer with you. My biggest learning is that I am responsible for the everything in my life. I am responsible for the way I feel. That's what I like. I am responsible for the way I feel. Until I learn about the law of attraction, the statement that I am responsible for my life was just statement which I thought was normally right. Now I have the scientific basis to understand how exactly I am responsible for my life. It is my own frequency that attracts all that happens in my life. In the next chapter, you will learn the difference between what you attract and what you are destined for. You will gain such more from the next chapter after you complete the above exercise and write down your learning from the principle of like attracts like. At this point, common question that people ask me is like attracts like or positive attracts or opposite attracts. This question has confused many practitioners of the law of attraction, including me in the initial stages. Even my workshop people ask me if like attracts like, how it is possible opposite attract. And here is the answer to this question. In school, we learn that the same sides of the magnet repel, opposite sides attract. We also learn that the energy with the same frequency will always attract each other, like in the case of radio frequency. This might seem like a contradiction, but actually they complement each other. Let me explain how. Like attracts like and the opposite attracts. What this means is energy compatibility. Energy will always attract its compatible energy to itself. Here are some of the examples to understand this. Lock and key, male and female, buyer and seller, opportunity and challenges. These may seem to be opposite, but they function at birth because they are energetic compatibility. They are compatible because they are incomplete without each other. So actually there are two sides of the same energy attracting each other to become the whole again. The same is true for like attracts like, which means that compatible energy will always attract each other. So if you want to attract success, you must learn to vibrate at its compatible energy frequency. If you want to attract money, you must learn to attract its compatible energy. And if you want to attract happiness, you must learn to vibrate at its compatible energy of happiness. The following chapter reveals how you can use the law of attraction to create compatible energy frequency to attract whatever you want in your life. Summary of like attracts like. The law of attraction is controlled by the like attracts like. That's the law. Like attracts likes mean the energy with the same frequency attract with each other and they become one together. Since we are all made of energy, we will attract the same energy frequency at which we vibrate. There are two types of frequency: positive or the high energy, or the negative and the low energy. Positive attracts positive and negative attracts negative frequency. It is your own frequency which attracts negative or the positive situation, people in your life. We are all responsible for everything we attract in our life. What is really meant by like attracts like and the opposite attract is energetic compatibility, which means that compatible energy will always attract each other. And that's the chapter number 3 end. And the next chapter we are going to learn, it's very powerful. It's feeling, what you're feeling, thoughts, what you believe, and your actions. That's called the FTBA: feelings, thoughts, what you believe, and what you action. So let's meet in the next chapter, FTBA.